Good afternoon, everyone. Um, I want to confirm if everyone on this Zoom call can hear me. Please, can you just notify or just say, "Oh, I can hear you." Thank you.
Absolutely, yes, I can.
All right. Thank you so much, Favor. Thank you. Not to waste much of our time. Welcome to today's program, everyone. We'll begin this webinar with a short prayer, and I will be coordinating and leading the short prayer. So, all eyes closed. Heavenly Father, I want to thank you for today. I want to thank you for how far you've brought us. We want to thank you for Saturday. Father, we commit this webinar into your hands, O Lord, that you make us come here open-minded to learn, to discuss, and to, get action and foresight to be able to make good impact in our societies and everywhere sectors we find ourselves. All this and many more we ask through Christ our Lord. Amen. Amen. Just to confirm again, if you can hear me. Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma,
We
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay, thank you very much. So we'll be going into the next agenda for today, and it's the welcome address and also Song Africa introduction, which I'll also be giving. And I would like to start by welcoming everyone, every participant, contestants, members of Song Africa, and also our lead partner group, Aberdeen Commercial Group. Thank you to everyone, even people that that are here today. Making our time to join us today for this webinar. Thank you so much for showing up. Thank you very much. And once again, I'm welcoming you to the Future Voice of Governance webinar. My name is Obajiko Ijoma Jennifer. I'm the Administrative Officer here at Song Africa, and I'll just going straight into our introduction. To confirm again, I like having engaging conversation. I like to know that you're following or you're hearing me. So if at any point in time my network goes bad, please do well to maybe raise your concern or just put it on the chat box. I'll see it. Thank you. Thank you, Rashida, for the thumbs up. Thank you very much. So yes, so the introduction of Success Song Africa. So the full meaning of Song Africa, I know most of you will be curious about what's Song Africa. It's that really Song and Africa and what the name stands for. So Song Africa is an acronym, Song especially, which means Success of Nations and Governance in Africa. And we're a not-profit organization. We have the mandate to, our vision is to equip and to empower youths of African descent. Most of us here are Nigerians, so obviously by that we are African descent. So that's what we do. To build, to equip, to empower youths, young persons of African descent with the skills and character required to influence and deliver successful government in Africa. Especially with bad report that of various African states. So we have the mandate to be able to give them young people, if in any sector. It doesn't necessarily even mean the government, but in any sector that you find yourself being a leader, or you're put in that position, so that you know what to do. You are equipped, basically, to be able to deliver on that as well. So I'll continue with our mandate. Our programs, we have so many programs that we have, and they're continuous initiatives. So we do them often, and those programs are designed to provide a network for people to engage and exchange practical ideas while serving for um a repository for solutions. So, solutions like the video contest that some of the contestants and participants did on, ways to improve their governance, or if they were given this position, how well will they effect changes and, bring that idea to life, basically. And so since our inception in 2015, we started off with ILA. We started off ILA, and we have also done so many organized various events. We have organized events in Abuja, in Nairobi, and in Aberdeen. Aberdeen is in the UK, and it has impacted over 3,000 individuals and inspiring them to live with a mindset of transforming Africa. So what we're here is to transform your mindset, basically, to know that, oh, you are beyond this, and you can, do in any space you find yourself in, you can actually do great things, and do big things as well. I like to say that of some of our programs or initiatives. So one of it is the Shape the Future. We have the Shape the Future event, which is also like an annual event. We have the Pledge. We have the Song Fellowship program as well. Also, I'll end in this way. I'll end in this way, that we all come from various communities, and we want to also see, bringing back home Nigeria. I want to see Nigeria having good leadership, and we all do have a part to play, especially also coming up with the upcoming election for next year as well. So I would like us to be open-minded in this webinar session, to be able to, discuss ideas, and also just contribute as well, because in the course of the session we'll be having a Q&A, and also open discussion section of various sectors that some of the participants also spoke about, saying that, oh, this is what they will do, or this is what they will change, and also learn from people, especially our very seasoned panelists, that will be able to they will be able to give their insights on how you're able to navigate it, irrespective of your discipline, or your academic background as well. Some people have this notion that, oh, politics is only for people that study maybe public administration or political science, but in the true sense, it affects all of us. So I would like to also introduce our IT specialist, David. He will just be playing like a short video, just giving just summary of what I've said all over again of Song Africa. So please do well to enjoy the video, and yeah, I'll take it right from there. Thank you, David.
A generation who can be empowered to contribute to producing successful communities at all levels, successful governments, and successful nations. Does it mean we're talking about people in government? No, we're talking about both those who are out and in of government. I break it down. One of the core objectives is to prepare people that so that they are ready wherever they find themselves to be good influencers of better outcomes. A generation who can be empowered to contribute to producing successful communities at all levels, successful governments, and successful nations. Does it mean we're talking about people in government? No, we're talking about both those who are out and in of government. I break it down. One of the core objectives is to prepare people that so that they are ready wherever they find themselves to be good influencers of better outcomes in communities and in governments. So to be instigators or workers for development. We're preparing people, so that whenever they find themselves, anywhere, any small unit they find themselves, they are development.
Thank you very much, David. Thank you very much. I hope you were able to hear the short video that our IT specialist David was able to play.
Yes, from
Okay.
this end.
Okay. Any other person, please?
Yes, we're able to hear it.
Okay, thank you very much, Joe Daniel, rather, sorry, pardon me. So at this point, excuse me. At this point, I'd like to introduce and welcome newborn Ogenebari Confidence. She's our legal specialist at our lead partner group, Aberdeen Commercial Group, and she'll be giving us an overview of Aberdeen Commercial Group. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, IJ. Good morning, everybody. Oh, sorry, good afternoon, everybody. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my name is Newborn Ogenebare Confidence, as has been rightly said. I am a junior associate at a branch of Aberdeen Commercial Group, Aberdeen Commercial Strategies Solution Systems Nigeria Limited. And it is a pleasure to be with you today and to introduce Aberdeen Commercial Group. So, at the heart of Aberdeen Commercial Group is Aberdeen Strategy Solutions and Systems Nigeria Limited, our management, consulting, and institutional capacity development practice. We are based in Abuja, Lagos, and Aberdeen, Scotland. We work alongside governments, multilateral organizations, development partners, and private sector institutions to strengthen systems, enhance capabilities, and develop strategies that are not only ambitious in design, but also practical and enduring in execution. Beyond consulting, we recognize that business has a broader role to play in society. As thus, through Song Africa, we advance our commitment to corporate social responsibility by supporting communities. We promote meaningful engagement and we invest in initiatives that create lasting social value in the society today. We believe that sustainable success is measured not only by what an organization achieves, but by the positive difference it leaves behind. Through Aberdeen Fine Spaces, which is another branch of Aberdeen Commercial Group, we bring the same commitment to quality and excellence in the building environment, curating living and working spaces that are functional, refined, and designed to enrich the experiences of those who occupy them. Together, our businesses represent more than a portfolio of services. They reflect a way of thinking, one that values excellence, accountability, and long-term impact. We believe that organizations should do more than succeed. They should strengthen institutions, create opportunities, and improve the environment in which people live and work. With this, I would like to officially welcome you to the Future Voices of Governance webinar. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a wonderful time as we engage in thought-provoking discussions, as we share our fresh perspectives and journey through today's exciting program together. Thank you for coming and have a wonderful time. Thank you, IJ.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that very precise introduction of Aberdeen Commercial. Thank you so much, Newborn. Please, are we all following? Are we still all on the call? And can we still hear one another? Please, I'd just like response. Thank you. If just some reactions will suffice.
Yes, ma.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we are moving on, really moving on. We'll be going to the next on our agenda, which is the panel discussion. And please, I would like to go into our first panel speaker for today. Her name is Dr. Peace Echeonu. I hope I pronounced that right. Ma, please, are you around? Hello, Ma. Hello, Ma. Okay. So Dr. Peace Etrono, she's a former award-winning counselor in River State, and now she's an academic at the University in Edinburgh in the United Kingdom. Dr. Peace will be talking on how to engage, like sustaining engagement and also influence. She will show us, how professional bodies, civil platforms, and leadership network that, as young people, we need to join or be familiarize ourselves with, and, to make us stay active, relevant, and also have impacts in the long run and long term as well. I would like us to put our hands together for Dr. Peace. I don't know if she's having network issues, but if she's not, the floor is hers now. Okay.
Hello?
Yeah. Thank you. I
Can
just
you
got a
hear
report.
me?
Okay. Yes, ma'am, I can.
Oh, sorry. I was sorry. I was hearing everyone, but I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Sorry for that mishap. And yeah. And thank you for the introduction. Thank you
Thank you
for
very much.
inviting me to this section today. Um, my name is Dr. Peace Ichong. I'm actually from Nigeria, River State, and precisely Port Harcourt. One term, two-term Port Harcourt City Local Government Council. One time, once a project manager in a construction industry, now a project management lecturer in London Metropolitan College. Formerly, I used to teach as well for Edinburgh Napier University, but I've moved to London. So I've been asked to speak on the topic sustaining engagement and influence. Very interesting topic. Just before we start, by show of hand, I'd like everyone to respond to this question, which is, who likes politics? If you like it, maybe a wave or a love sign. But if you don't like it, you let me know. Like, thumbs down. You like politics. Good. Well done. This is great. Super. Yes. And following that, my second question would be, who likes change? If you like change, yeah, good. Rashid, well done. Joe, Rotimi, thank you very much. Sometimes when we talk about politics or when people hear politics,
What about the Thomas? You should go and hustle there. What
so
about Judas?
can
If
we
you don't
all
jump off entire so you should use you. Hallelujah. What
Please, can
about
we
what
unmute
is the
our
that
speaker?
scripture tells you that Jesus and Peter?
okay? So when people hear about, for example, something that has to do with politics or sustaining engagement and influence, one thing that comes to mind is, how is this achievable? And many people think that to achieve influence is getting on social media, doing all of the things. If you're part of those people that have that concept, maybe at the end of today, I believe your perception on, what it means to have sustained engagement and influence will change. Okay, by way of introduction now, what is engagement and what is influence? Is simple thing. I'd like somebody to unmute themselves, one person to talk about what they understand by engagement, and the other person what they understand by influence. Then I'll take it up from there. I like an engaging class, if that's okay.
Good day, ma.
Yeah, Kabiru, go for it.
My name is Kabiru Abdullahi Ubangari, undergraduate student from Ahmad Bello University, Zaria. So, what I understand with engagement, it simply means linking yourself towards activities.
Good. Well done. Thank you. Thank you very much. Really concise, yeah. And how about influence? Who can tell me? Maybe someone else or somebody can tell me what they understand, or Kabiru, what you understand by the word influence.
Thank you, Ma, for giving me the chance to answer this question again. What I really understand by influence, I think influence is it's like having sorry, how can I put it? It's like just having someone or engaging yourself or seeing some people doing things and you feel like you want to join them.
Lovely.
That's
Thank you very much. Thank you. Let's give a virtual clap to Kabiru. Seeing yourself or someone doing something and you wanting to join them. That's really good. Well done. So, building on top of what Kabiru had just said, right? Many people can achieve influence for a short period of time, but only a few can sustain it over a time. Whether it's in politics, in academics, in business, in community leadership, or in our daily life, or even in the project industry or project world, or even as students, be it undergraduate, postgraduate. Long-term influence depends on relationships, credibility, adaptability, and the service you have to others. So now, reflecting back on my experience as a former counselor and now an academic has taught me that influence is not something we possess permanently. It is something we earn repeatedly through our actions, our character, and contributions to others, beginning from our immediate family. Why is this important? If you have pen and paper, I'd like you to write this down. This is important because for you to build an authentic relationship first, you need to understand what it means to have trust. And this is an attribute that begins from your childhood. For example, you belong to a family of 4 or 5, and maybe you're the senior person in the family, and for some reason your parents have decided to say, oh, Kabiru, for example, take care of your younger brothers. There's this biscuit and minerals, in case they are hungry, or there's a pot of rice and 4 meats, in case they are hungry, just dish to everybody and have yours. And you decided to, for example, I'm talking about trust. Now, that is your parents placing trust on you. And also your younger brothers or sisters will be looking up to you because your mom has given an instruction that they are expecting you to obey. Now, Family politics begins from there. And for some people who really don't care about trust or building that good relationship, they'll be like, oh, okay, Junior, come here and take your share. Mommy didn't, give us enough meat. I'm just going to divide this between you and your sister. And because those younger ones have so much trust in you, they will accept everything you tell them. But inside of you, within yourself that you have done something that is not right. Now, where this is important is knowing fully well that you have done something that is not right, and you not having a rethink over it and building more on that. Now, do you think when you go into leadership position in any capacity, do you think you'll be able to be true to yourself? The answer is no, because you began cheating your younger ones from family setting. I am going to somewhere. So authentic relationship, for people to trust you, means you have to be trusted in your own right. You must have mutual respect, honesty, and genuine concern for people, regardless of whom they are. Given that someone in the family that is growing up, they've asked you to take care of the younger ones, you have 4 meats that can go around for everyone, but you have decided to cheat on them because you think they are younger and they won't have any say, and you being the senior, you have to take 2 and share 2 for your for the other ones. So such things is what is happening currently in Nigeria, even among our leaders, and that is why we keep going through the same cycle, because you have people, one, who are currently leading us and lack what they call trust and honesty. And this comes back to us as, my mom will always say, you can't give what you don't have. If you don't have honesty in you, looking from small family settings, even if they put you as a president of Nigeria, you still will not have that honesty, because this is a childhood, people say it's childhood attitude. No. And when I go for speaking, sometimes I try to tell parents that what people tend to grow with more, or the memory that lives longer, are those memories, those childhood memories, those things that happened during our childhood. For example, if you're a child who respects others, when you go to the public, you always carry that dignity and respect, because it's always difficult, one, to learn some of these attributes at old age. If you're a child that fights very much and they put you as a Senate president, you're always going to fight with people, because that is the life, the person, that individual is used to. So individuals are more likely to demonstrate leaders, or likely to support leaders who demonstrate consistent integrity and who show interest, not just in themselves, but in that of others, because that is what every one of us should carry. So many leaders concentrate on, fine, for you to, I need to be in this leadership position. How are you projecting yourself to others? How are you equipped to carry a leadership role? For example, I started with the family life, right? I said this because each time I talk about politics or getting involved or having influence, it reminds me of when I was, being asked by the community to go represent them in the Legislative Council. I asked one question: why me? The community elders that came to speak to my parents that time sat down and they said they have looked through the community and they haven't seen someone with an impeccable character like myself. I'm like, oh no, Mom, I'm not doing this. This is just going to cause me setback. I'll tell you a little bit of my background. My undergraduate degree was in accountancy. And just after NYC, I got a job in the construction industry. I wanted to be a career accountant. We had Ajib, Shell, Chevron just within walking distance from where we lived. So I wanted to be a consultant. So I knew what I was aiming for. And my dad, as at then, was my role model, and my mom was something I was, someone I was always looking up to. And one thing my mom told me is, you want to become an accountant, that is you, going to count other people's money. That means there's something that is required of you. If you're able to, start portraying or start living that lifestyle from now, that means before you get to a certain age, you would not have to impose yourself on people. Rather, people will come to you to come lead them. And that has been the case. I learned something from that childhood. What was that? Having respect for everybody and staying truth to myself first, then to others. So when the deliberation started, oh, peace, we need you to come lead us. I told them, no, I don't like politics. I've never been involved in politics. I was preparing for my ICANN exam. I wanted to be a chartered accountant. The pressure became so much on my family members that my dad said, okay, it's enough. What does it take? I said, I'm not even registered. And I was told, my mom said, oh, she already registered each and every one of us, in politics then, in PDP then. I'm like, okay. So that means this is just gonna disrupt my career plan. I was working as an accountant, had an official vehicle, had a plan for myself, well paid. So now I'm going to leave all of this to come lead you people in politics because you think I was the most truthful child. As at then, I was the youngest in River State. Truthful person that could lead. So we went on the race, and it was a smooth ride throughout. And I always beat my shoulder to say, since I left, nobody has been able to beat my record in politics. Because my mom told me that this is a public fund. If you are giving 1,000 naira to do a constituency project, my daughter, you need to do that. Because if you think, oh, nobody knows what they are giving to me, in fact, it doesn't really matter, I'm just going to do whatever thing I like. They might not have the powers to fight you, but posterity, and remember the family values, which is trust, respect, and honesty. And that was what I lived by. Then my late dad was the king leading the community. So people expected something more than, the usual politics. I lived up to it by God's grace, not by my powers, by the special grace of God. And I served my first term, and they came back to me to serve the second term. And now this began from the family setting. My mom would deliberately give us some money to go and keep. I'll say, okay, we'll come back to this money. You hold this 2,000, you hold 5,000, according to her age. Maybe in 3-4 months' time, she'll come back. Where is that money that was given to you? Myself and my senior brother then would always present exactly what she's giving to us, what she gave to us as her debt. If you like, write your name on the currency and give to me, and come back in 25 years' time, that same currency you have handed to me is what I'm going to give to you. I'm not going to say, okay, oh, for some reason, except maybe thinking towards investing it. Then I'll say, okay, this currency has been invested. Give me some time and I'll return it. And that was how I lived my life. Why is this important? People may think, oh, let me just go there for the title or for the position. Hey, okay, yeah, it doesn't really matter what I do. But when you leave office, what becomes of you? How do you live? Will people around you be happy? Or those people you have left behind? Okay, let's assume I no longer live in Nigeria, I'm now in the UK. One thing I ask myself is, maybe if I wasn't good to my people, if I didn't serve meritoriously, I was given an award for that. Maybe new doors wouldn't have been opened to me, because I'm not saying I'm the most, I won't say I'm the most intelligent, but I just felt like that good path, sincerity, honesty, and trust contributes to the success of an individual. So, why am I bringing this? This is talking about covering the aspect of having a positive influence. So now, to sustain this positive influence is for you, for me, for example, as an individual, to continue to leverage on those good values that I was taught from my childhood. That was why I began with the story of having, 4 members of family, being the senior, and being given the responsibility of taking care of the younger ones, the child, who would cheat from childhood. Sometimes, maybe 95% times, would not change that attitude, because that is what they learned from childhood. Some might say, no, I differ from this. But if you look at the life of those who have led us in Nigeria into poverty today, has been people who only cared for themselves and for their families. Nigeria is one of the richest countries in terms of natural resources. What do they do with all the money? They just take care of their family members alone and themselves, buy all the houses in the posh areas, and, just, feel less concerned or less concerned about what is going on. People are dying every day, insecurity, hardship, untold hardship. And this is something that if every leader would come up to say, look, I must stand on this truth, integrity, and honesty to serve my people. If every leader can stand on these values, Nigeria will be a better place. Are you following?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay. So one lesson is this. People rarely remember every promise, those in authority make. But what they remember is how they were treated. Each time I go to Nigeria now, when people want to make reference, they say, oh, she was really good when she was leading us here. I've had too many calls, like even the last election, even this recent one. Oh, I'm gonna give you House of Reps a membership for a form for free. Come and lead us. I say no. I've walked past. I can't work with people who do not have the same value as me. So because of the positive influence I've had on the people over the years, they still remember that they were treated with all genuinity when I was there. So now this is taking us to leading through service. Remember, engagement, influence. That is you, which is a critical factor in leadership. But before that happens, you must have trust. You must have the ability to demonstrate trust. Trust is, I say it as, I call it a currency that people can buy with money. I can come here and say, okay, 31 attendance today. At the end of this function, I'm going to give you £1,000 each. Yeah. Would you trust me to give you that money? Or would you just think, oh, it's one of those things? Will I trust myself that I'll be able to do that? So it's a currency that helps us to succeed in life. Even while working among team members or collaborating with other people, you want to ensure that your life emits trust. I was in a meeting yesterday, and one of the leaders, my senior colleagues, looked at me like, Paige, to be honest, I'm not saying this because you're in this meeting. Since you came into this organization, we've learned something from you. When I talk, I don't talk because I feel like talking. I talk because I think, look, whatever thing we are doing as lecturers, we should have one purpose in mind. These people we are teaching. Are we teaching them the right thing? You're telling a student not to look at ChatGPT to submit an assignment. And you, as a lecturer, all your assignment is being done from ChatGPT. So how will they trust you? For you to earn trust, you must give trust. So that said, let's move on. I've given my real life example on how I came into politics and how that was sustained and the positive influence I still have to date, even while not in Nigeria. So how would you, this is something I'd like each and every one of you to react. I started this section by asking about change. How many of you want change and all of that? So change is something that I tell people. Nobody should come to the streets or social media to talk about change when in themselves they know that they do not emit or carry that change. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be a religious person. Just being a normal human being should give you that sense of humanity. What does this mean? Like having that service-oriented leadership that focuses more on helping others succeed rather than seeking whatever thing it is, personal recognition. I want change, but inside of you, they'll give you 5 million naira to go do small water projects. And you're there dividing the money among your group, not even minding that the water project hasn't even started, but the money is already ended. That doesn't work. Then you shouldn't talk about change. And now, another example is, only sensible people are naturally attracted to leaders who demonstrate commitment to a collective success. It doesn't matter where tribe or what's it called? Tribe or religious background. So I'd like to empower us today as we learn from this very brief section. I haven't really prepared so much, but I want to see that if there's anything you will learn from this section today, it should be that change will begin from you. If you're in a contract with somebody, for example, you're doing a contract, don't think about how you're going to benefit more from whatever money or proceeds. Just think about how do we make this thing work and have equal share from this. I'll go back. Why I'm bringing this is very important. While we were in the Legislative Assembly, the former leader of council, I didn't know them before, is Providence that brought me into politics. And being somebody of integrity, one of my value in life always is that trust and honesty. So this leadership, for some reason, each time they brought money for constituency project, people go buy cars, build houses. I'm like, why is this always happening? A few of us who are really sincere in the Legislative Council wrote a petition on it. They were like, oh, you're too good to be in politics. I say, yeah, maybe that was why my people led me to this place. So if the mayor is releasing 5 million naira, what are you going to buy a car for? Go do your project, so your people will be happy. And they said, well, there was some issues around it, and I became a target point. Like, oh, whenever there's money, I beg you, people shouldn't share it where peace is, or just declare it. If she's in sitting today, just declare it. So that went on until when I did my project. The governor's wife was there. It was really huge. People benefited, widows, youth, everybody, within my constituency. Not like 100%, like people who needed it. And guess what? The whole Port Harcourt became like every other constituency outside of my own constituency started making huge problems with their own leaders. And they said, oh, peace, is you that's causing all this problem. Now, the car I went to council with was the same car I came out with. Then I had this Honda Baby Boy. That was the car I had, I got while I was working in that construction industry. That was the same car. I didn't build any special house for my parents or for myself. I went there to serve, and I served meritoriously. And I came back, and those people who leveraged on the public funds for their own personal gains, guess what? Some of them are now in the streets. Each time I am on Facebook, oh, honorable colleague, I beg, your colleague is dying. That is their message. I'm like, okay, all the money you squandered, the public fund, how far? Some of them are nowhere. And that is what happens when you're given a responsibility and you think, oh, this one is just for myself alone. You might not have the negative impact now, but it awaits the person in the future. So wherever you are, whoever you are, be it a student, be it a lecturer, a leader, a pastor, any position of authority you have, always see that as a service to humanity, a way to have a positive influence to others and a way to make a change, not just for you, but for those around you. It shouldn't be just your own way, because influence grows when people believe you care more about them. Any questions so far?
Thank you so much, Dr. Pierce. Please, if you do have any questions for Dr. Pierce, you can raise your hand, or the floor is not open.
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
Thank you, Ma, for your lectures. I actually learned a lot. But Ma, I really want to know something. I think most of my fellow youths who have the ambition of being leaders to bring real change towards the administration in Nigeria. But most of my classmates in the university, we have this intellectual minds. We have this zeal of changing the country. But what is our major challenge is that we tend to see that politics in Nigeria is about who have resources, not by having knowledge and how to, I don't know if you understand me. So, what can we do to make people, to you, what can we do to make people not to believe that it is who have money that have the right to be voted for? Thank you, Mike.
Well, that's a very, very good question, Kabiru. So, the simplest form is you showing, one, leading an exemplary life. You have all the intellectual prowess, but if you don't have that, capacity of having creating dependency, in the sense that people are looking up to you, then no matter how intelligent, you won't be able to do that. So the best way to do that is in your own little cycle. You create influence. How do you create that influence? At this stage, you have secular friends. When you gather with your secular friends, you want to exude honesty in whatever thing you do with them, and each time you have a conversation,
Sorry, Ma, I have a network glitch. I did not get you, Ma. Sorry.
okay, so you begin with your small circle. One, by creating visibility, which also creates dependencies. Now you have younger people. This is the time for you to gather them. And first of all, you mentor them. How do you mentor them? Just like what we're doing today. Pastor Mark has brought this platform for us all to learn from one another, right? This is how you develop leadership capacity. So being in leadership position does not require so much money. It doesn't even require any money. Like I said, how I got into politics, I didn't have that money to say, oh, this. No. Community elders, respected elders, chiefs of my constituency, of my community, sat together, had a list of people they wanted to lead them. And in all of that list, they found peace worthy. Why? Because they have seen me that I'm a child with high level of integrity, discipline, honesty, and trust. These are the currencies that money can't buy. Yeah, they might say, oh no, I don't want you to I don't want to I don't want you to just come speak over me. I need you to show working. Yes, you lead them by example. That's all. Leadership is not measured by how much you have. Otherwise, people who want to be in leadership position would have been there because they can use their money then to buy things over. But it is measured by how capable others can entrust their life in you because of how you have positively influenced them. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes,
So
ma'am. It really answered my question.
you need to build that authentic relationship based on trust. The little circle you have, you're given a responsibility. Are you visible? Are you sincere? Are you honesty? Are you honest in your conversation? You're giving little money to manage a small project. Are you accountable in the sense that 5,000 was given to us today and we have used 2,000, we have 3,000 left in the coffers? What do we do about it? Oh, okay, hold it. We'll come back to you in 2 days time. And in 2 days time, where is the money? You start telling them stories. They won't trust you. So with that mindset, you won't be able to lead others. So you need to be trusted first. Yes, Rotimi.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Peace. Thank you for that fact. I'm really encouraged. But I have this question from one of the things you said. So you said you were
Sorry,
you
Rotimi, sorry to but sorry, so please after Rotimi asks the question and Dr. Peace answers, we'll be moving on to the next session because there's just a time for Q&A, so you can ask Dr. Peace if you have any other question to ask her. We have time for that. But after Rotimi, we'll be going over to the next agenda. Thank you very much.
okay. Thank you. So after your administration, can I use the word now, administration, after your time in government back in Nigeria, you said there was a time these people were like, maybe you should come back and come and govern. And you said you've passed that and you can't work with people that don't share the same values with you. Now,
Yes.
I understand that this is it may not be all the time, but this is one of the reasons why we don't have good people in government for a long time. Now, thank God you were able to leave impact, and because of what you did, they were calling you back. But now, because of this bad governance, bad people in government, people that stood out during their time or had the tendency of standing out, don't want to go into government again, don't want to continue. And whether we like it or not, if you don't go there, there will still be other people that will go there. And that is why we keep having bad people governing us. What can we do in such situation? Because for me, I think if we have someone that is good, it may be difficult. One person among, it may be difficult to stand out. But if we keep going out, because politics are about most people, we keep saying politics is a dirty game. I don't want to soil my hand. I don't want to go there. Let us just leave it for them. And we keep leaving it for them. And that is why we keep having this. How can we balance this? Because you don't want to soil your hand, you don't want to soil your integrity, you want to step back. And as you're stepping back, some people are going forward. And these are the people that are causing more harm to us. How can we balance it? Thank you.
This is a deep one. Very good question. Very, very good question. Wow. Balancing it. Is it that you continue to fight them or you leave? I'll tell you why I left. My second tenure, I was called in for a meeting with senior members, like stakeholders, and I was given one condition. I call it one because their own condition didn't mean anything to me. They said, we have seen that you have positive influence on the people and they still want you to lead. Yeah, we're happy to give you that position. But one, you come join us and complete this form that they have all filled. That is in River State. I'll say it everywhere and anywhere. I didn't go for that meeting alone by myself. I went with my personal assistant, my SA, and my driver. I told them that everybody must come into this meeting because I'm a female, very young. I was the youngest. I was very proactive. So initially they refused, and I said, no, whatever meeting I'm attending, these three persons, they are men, they are my seniors, they must attend to me. They must join me. And then they now offered me House of Assembly. They said I must fill some form. I said, okay, what is in this form? They said the form will change my life. I said, what is that? It was a very cold moment. What is that? That question. They were unable to answer. They said until when I start filling the form, that's when I'll know what it is. And secondly, me being in government, I just have to look aside whatever thing that is happening. I should just accept whatever thing they decide. And I said to them that growing up as a child, the things my parents taught me, I know would take me anywhere I want to go to in life than filling this form and saying the truth and not speaking out. That I'd rather take a bow now and leave this circle, or if you want me in, I'll be in with my values. Some of the leaders didn't take it lightly, and it came with some level of threats and all of that. But that said, it left. I just left. I moved immediately. I came to the UK. But looking back now, was it a good decision I took? Yes, it was a good decision in the sense that because my life, threats and all of that, things were beginning, they kept saying you don't have to be doing all of this projects. Some of this money we disburse to you is for you, because people are beginning to report like, why is this person doing so much project? And these other people, they are in the same position, the same legislators. So it was not causing too much trouble. They said, okay, we'll give you money, but just use it, change your car, change your life, go and build a house, do this, do that. I said, no, that is not why I was called to serve. I was called to serve my people. If you have disbursed 10 million naira, 20 million naira, 30 million naira, and you say this is for constituency project, it should be for constituency project. The wardrobe allowance that is given to us, the car allowance that is given to us, is still more than enough for me. Then I was single anyway. It's still more than enough for me. Why do I eat mine and eat the public fund again? So that said, I left. And my absence caused another, some shakeup within the system there. However, how do you close that gap? Is by getting more good people in the system. Now, was I able to change people? Yes and no. People are hungry. Peace, yeah, you've had this good life, political career, family, this, that. Yeah, we are coming from somewhere. We need to first of all enrich ourselves. Yeah, we'll listen to you. Yes, okay, that is good. So, okay, what next? You're giving 20 million naira to go do road project, you're eating it. So it's only just very few that emulated what I was doing then. And we were 7 out of how many? So we now, we tried. It didn't work. I left. I don't know about others. But if I'm given an opportunity to go back there now, I don't know, maybe I'll start building my own structure first from scratch. I'll go to every ward, every constituency. I'll begin to lay good foundations, just like what Pastor Mark is doing with us today, telling us the purpose of service. Throughout my journey from local government leadership in Rivers State to academia in Edinburgh, one lesson that has remained consistent: positions may come and go, titles may change, circumstances may evolve, but influence endures when it is grounded in trust. Service, having that human nature, which is emotional intelligence, and a commitment to helping others succeed. Now, I left politics in person, but the people who I mentored, just the very few who believed in the values I carry, although they are still there. One of them have picked a phone for House of Rep. Every now and then, not just one, in different states, in different constituency, they consult with me. And one thing I tell them is, have a positive influence, and which must be grounded in trust. That's a currency that money cannot buy you. And the greatest measure of every leadership is not the number of people who follow you. When I was there, I had people following me, but the number of people who grew because of the influence, because of the trust, because of the value I carry, is what makes me a happy person today. I mean, living politics. I didn't just live. I still have my replicas there. So how do you today? Is by beginning from your family circle. When you are not in a meeting, what does your friend or family member say about you? Do they talk about trust? Oh, I can trust this guy. Because when the decisions are made, you won't be there. It is the value you carry that will represent you in those high-stake meetings. If you're a bad person, they say, yeah, don't worry, give him. Just give him 50 million naira. He will succumb, he will succumb. Don't worry, I know him. But when it comes to you, peace. When it comes to Rotimi, can they say, even if you give this guy 100 million naira, I know go agree? Can anybody say such a thing about you? So that's, and start making friends, building relationship now. In your social media circle, you need to keep saying it. We need to build trust. We need to do this. We need to stand strongly because we have a value that we're looking at. With this value, can people say, okay, we have walked around the community, we haven't seen anybody with this special value. Okay, come. Then from there, you can start making influence. And again, I was the youngest, I was a female. That is another disadvantage in the sense that the female then in Rivers State, they weren't so much in politics. So, people will like, if you don't have a strong value, again, people want to take advantage of the fact that she's a female. But because I had a bold voice and I had this value that everybody knew, politics made me poorer. It didn't make me richer. Looking at where I started from, an accountant in a very huge construction industry. So I already built a house before I went into there. I already had a car, even if I was very young. So I saw that I used that opportunity to be bold, to say, look, this money belongs to the people and it must go to the people. My projects are still there in Falga. Unbeatable. So yeah, staying true to yourself and, positive influence. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Peace. And thank you, Rotimi, and thank you to everyone that asked questions. We still have room for Q&A as the sessions unfold. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you for your very insightful session. I think one thing that stayed with me was, how you said service to humanity, a way of making change, not just for myself, but for people around me, for communities as well. Thank you. Thank you, Ma. And there's also a slogan that we have here at Song Africa, which is stop antagonizing, start organizing. So basically means stop like saying, oh, these are the issues, and start organizing to prefer and find solutions, and also be the change that you want to see in your communities. Thank you very much, Ma. So we're
You're
going
welcome.
into thank you, Ma. So we'll be going into the next agenda for the day. At this point, it is my honor to invite our keynote speaker for this webinar, Dr. Mark Osai Igion. He's the chairperson for Success of Nations and Governance in Africa, Song Africa. And Dr. Mark will be delivering his keynote address for today's webinar. He'll be sharing his vision for the future of governance and the critical role for young people, um, to play in shaping a democracy that transforms. So please, everyone, join me in welcoming Dr. Mark Osai for his keynote speech. Thank you. Sir, the floor is yours now.
Thank you very much. I hope you can, I don't know if you can see me.
Yes, sir, I can.
My camera is on, and for some reason I can't see myself. And so thank you so much. And thank you for all the song, Success of Nations and Government, people that have joined from all over. Welcome, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Peace, and we're greatly encouraged, and we do a lot of things together, and I know how active she still is in Nigerian politics, but not frontally. And she's part of the community that we have. So for I'm not going to talk for long. It's going to be quite short. I want to just talk about what we are focused on. So this movement that you are, for those who are joining for the first time, we started this 2015 in Aberdeen. That was the public one. Before then, we had been having many events, and there is a challenge that we see, which we are trying in our little way to address. And that challenge is both a Nigerian challenge, it is an African challenge. And then for those of us who live in diaspora, Africans in diaspora, that challenge is still there. And also, even in diaspora, so when I say diaspora, that means even in diaspora, you can take part in politics. You want it to be present in your community in politics. You also want it to be present. And then we also have in this movement, those who are not Africans, but they are Europeans, Americans, and other parts of other nationalities, but they have the same thinking like us of what their countries, their communities should look like. And some are also friends of Africa, Nigerian Africa, and they are ready to invest their time, energy, and where necessary, their resources. So that's our focus. So it's not a Nigerian only objective, it's actually Africa-wide. And that's our objective. And who are the community of people? We have people around the world. The next thing I want to say is our movement is focused not directly on those in power or in politics and in government, not directly. I mean, only to the extent that we can influence them in some way, but rather we are focused on the next generations or those not yet in power and politics. We want to encourage you to go in there. And for the younger generation, we want to prepare the whole generation, not just individuals. One is a generational thing. And why we're doing that is because there is this general concept. People always think that when I go to power, when I go into government and politics, I'm going to do better than others. There's a whole lot of criticism and agonizing and criticism. So we have a motto, which is what um, Ijoma was mentioning. The motto is stop agonizing, start organizing. So in a lot of places we see Africans agonizing, whether in Africa or Nigeria, elsewhere, even those in diaspora, everyone is agonizing about the problems, the challenges, which is okay, but the agonizing has never solved any problem. And no matter how much you agonize, it doesn't solve any problem. Furthermore, the people who are agonizing, who are complaining, who are grumbling, who are criticizing, when they get there, that's what we have seen again and again. When they get there, they do even worse than all the others. Why? Because they have not been prepared and they have no organization. When I say organization, not just mean your own organization, but they have no network. So that's what part of what we are doing here to create, for those who are interested to join us in that network. You've been trained, you have people everywhere, anywhere you want to go in the world, people that are there that can support you. And then over time, you can grow your own network so that when you are going into any of these places, you are not going alone. But we're also training you so you know what to do. That's the reason why we set this. We set two assignments for this current the group, that the people that made their they make their presentations or put their things inside. We said number one, go and look at some of our old videos, particularly the Inspire 300, and summarize what you have learned. The reason why we're doing that is so that we want you, if you're interested, to join us, and we're going to train for the next 3 months. We're going to train for the next 3 months. And we've also, I was talking to some of the team members today, and what they're saying is, even for those who are in Nigeria where we know data and all that is challenging, for those who join and are consistent, they would find a way of supporting their data. Somebody will actually give you a monthly allowance for data so you can be joining the sessions. So we want to train people for the next 3 months. And in terms of what it takes to actually run things, because a lot of people going government, they don't know because they have no vision, and even if they have a vision, they don't have the tools within them to run it. Many years ago, I was traveling somewhere in Nigeria, and the governor was being asked on live radio, um, and I was in the car, I was listening, and they asked him, some money was coming from Abuja, was going to some states, and they asked him, "What are you going to do with this huge, humongous sums of money that's coming to your state?" The governor laughed a long laugh. He said, "If you give me all the money in Abuja, it's not enough for what I want to do." It just struck me. This guy has no plan, no vision, no burden. So he couldn't mention one thing. Imagine if you had asked, the previous generations, Tafawa Balewa, Awolowo, Zeke, Kotebo, those, they would say, oh, maybe it's, the free education or this or that. This governor couldn't mention one single thing. And then I began to realize that our problem is not just that. It's not just corruption is a big problem, but corruption is like number two or number three in my mind. Most of them have no clue. They have no plan. They have no clue. They have no burden. Nothing is driving them. And then they have no plans. So that's why the second assignment we've asked you to do, for those who have done, is to say, if you're assuming you are going to go into, you have been asked to come and become a councillor, come and become a commissioner in your state, what will you do? So we'll see some of the videos, and I think the team will tell us which has the top 3 videos. But all of you did well. I looked at all the videos. You did very, very well, for both summary of what you have seen from Song Tospa, and also the videos as well. They're very, very good. I mean, some of them were really good. Some of the videos were more talking about, visions, what I'm going to do. Some were talking more about the problems. It's okay to see problems, but problems don't solve problems. The question is, okay, now you've seen a problem or you've seen a pattern. What are you going to do about it? And then don't just say what you're going to do about it. We want you to go deep enough to be able to say specifically what you have in mind, so that the day you have an opportunity, you're not going to waste our time. You're not going to waste your generation's time just telling stories, because that's what's been happening. for the last 60 years or so in Nigeria since Nigeria got independence. The first generation sort of did well, and then after that is been very, very average. So we want yourselves, your generation, and those of us working with you to do better. And so if we can help prepare, not us, we're not solving the whole problem of Nigeria or Africa, but that one little contribution. If we can help prepare the next generation, then perhaps one, two, or three of you will go out and do great things, and when you have the opportunity. And then we're not just stopping there, we're doing a few other things. By the time, the next couple of months, we're going to launch, go to the next level. Yeah. So the whole purpose of song is to prepare the next generation, to equip them, know how to do policy, how to write policy, how to investigate situations, then even how to be successful. Because most of us, what we have is general knowledge and all of that, but there are specific ways of doing that. And in other parts of the world, people get trained, for what they do. People get trained for government and politics, not just in in training what they get in academic. That's part of it as well too. But more often, there's a whole network and system that trains the people and support them throughout, and that's what we are replicating in Song and IGNTC to train people. We also work with universities. We have some universities we collaborate with, as well too. And then we from time to time we tell other political parties particularly in Nigeria, we tell them, if you want us to work with you, we have trained some people. A few times, some people have taken up that opportunity, but they haven't. But so that's really what we are about. And so it's a great opportunity this afternoon to be able to say, well done, everyone. We've seen what you have done. It's very, it's for those who have put it in, it's very good. For those who haven't done it before, not to worry at all. You have other opportunities. And for those who have done the competition, who put their 2 videos in, we're inviting everybody now, not just those who have done the videos, everybody's, and please bring your networks in as well too. Like Dr. P said, you need to have your own networks and you need to have your friends. Notice something else. You need to be, if you're going to be a good leader, actually, let me call it leader generally is leading well, but if you're going to be a good person in public life and politics, not just public life means even if you're a civil servant, or but wherever you are, where influence can create change, you need to know a little bit of history. You need to know, or rather, I say, relevant history. You need to know relevant history. If you notice, when you check your history, you find that the generation that led Africa into independence in Nigeria, Ghana, they were all students. They were all students. And most of them were studying in London, in Paris for the French folks, and some were studying in America, like Zeke. And Zeke was studying in Africa. I think Nkrumah was studying in Africa. I'm not, sorry, in America as well. I have to check that out. But they were like the same generation. They were thinking alike. And then they started talking, planning, visioning from that place. And then when they started returning back home to Africa, and then I also found those in Africa who didn't go abroad, but also had the same mindset that it's time for Africa countries to get their independences, and so they collaborated together and brought that out. So for the generations that would transform, that will take Nigeria to the next level, you also need to work collaboratively together. Yeah. So welcome aboard, everyone. If you are here today, you have become part of Song. So you'll be invited to the monthly trainings, but we're going to have specific ones just for yourselves, for this new group. So between now and October, this is June, July, September, October, we want to do so much. And then in October, we're going to have another event, and we want to get to a point where you begin to have a public profile. We will give you, for those who do the program, we will help you do a public profile and support you and say, hey, you graduated from level 1. You never finished this school, it's continuous. So it's just one, you've come out from the boot camp. So that's what we're having for the next 3 months, the boot camp. You've graduated, you can put it on your major status and all that, and begin to project yourself as you know what to do. from at every level. Don't just think only of federal level or presidency. But if I were you, don't talk about that if I were president. That's not relevant. How many people are going to become president? But you can simply say, if I'm going to be chairman of my local council, if I'm going to be, can we take responsibility right now for your community? Don't so yeah, so don't just keep on talking about presidency. So I will say one more thing. I used to be, and I still are. I'm still very active in the corporate space. Very, very active in corporates globally, and I have the opportunity to be on many panels selecting people for employment. Sometimes it's graduate level employment. Before I used to do that, or young professionals, but now sometimes even higher, board and all that. And one thing that is always key, at least in very reputable organization, is the people are always asking, what is your track record? What is your track? What have you achieved before? In fact, one of the organizations I used to be part of, they have a formula which the candidates don't know is the CAR. I won't mention what the C and arrow means, but the A is achievements. People want to know, what have you done already? What achievements have you done already? So that's why I want you, those who would like to be leaders, leaders and leaders of tomorrow, of not just tomorrow, from today. You need to have you need to start having achievements. If somebody needs to manage their phones, you need to
Your
start
own phone,
having
you cannot
you need
get
to
it.
start having you need to start having
Up to your phone.
achievement.
Sorry,
Somebody
please that. Please, can you
can you
mute
mute
yourself?
yourself? So you need to start having achievements now. So don't wait until so let it be that with your neighborhood, you're organizing, maybe your neighborhood needs cleaning, do something and then announce it that I'm taking responsibility of my neighborhood, I'm gathering the youth together or in your campus or something else. So that is also a critical way of knowing what's going to happen. So Dr. Peace mentioned herself, specific achievements, not stories. So start doing things now. We're going to challenge you to take responsibility for something in your neighborhood. It doesn't have to cost money, or in your network. So that's what we will be on to do. So today um, we're going to get two people will share the top prize, to show the top prize, and all those who have made submissions, you're going to get a prize as well. You're going to get a prize. We won't mention that today, but you're going to get a prize for the effort that you have done. And then for everyone that is here, please, you are straight away are becoming part of the song, and we're going to have a 3 months boot camp for you, and then call with all your friends and everyone else, boot camp for you. And then anyone that joins, if you need allowance for your data, because most of it will be online, but there will also be some physical meetings. We'll do that as well too. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'll leave it to you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mark. Thank you so much for that keynote speech. Just can you confirm if you can hear me, anyone?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes,
Okay,
we can hear you.
all right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, from Dr. Mark. Like Dr. Mark said, as from today, all members of Song Africa. So thank you and welcome on board. So we'll be moving on to the next on our agenda, and we're moving into our Q&A session and open discussion session. And we've all had great insights from our panel, Dr. Peace, and from our keynote speaker, Dr. Mark. Now it's your turn to engage with us. This is open for questions and also for, our anchor is going to also be asking questions as well. So moving on, this session will be anchored by our very own seasoned research writer, I'm Blessed. Thank you. The floor is yours, I'm Blessed. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Ijoma. Thank you to everyone who has graced us with their attendance and their participation. Thank you so much, Dr. Peace, for being a part of this. I've learned so much from your discussion, and to our host and keynote speaker, Dr. Mark. Thank you so much for giving us more insights. And I know that a lot of people that are here have learned something from both speakers. It is essential that You can put out questions. Please don't relent or don't feel held back to ask questions that are bothering you. I can see one question already here, but the floor is open for more questions. And I will be asking, while you're preparing your questions or thinking of the questions you want to put out, I'll be asking some questions, just two major questions to our participants who have put in the effort to prepare videos, to see the journey so far, and also be a part of this webinar. And my first question is, how can a young person with no political background begin a journey toward governance and public leadership? And this is not to say there are wrong or right questions or there are wrong or right answers. It's just for you to give us an understanding of what you think. If you've not had any degree or exceptional experience or certification to public life, how you feel as a person who probably wants to go into public life and doesn't have the qualifications can go into this. So the floor is open to answers. Like I said, there are no wrong answers and there are no right answers. This is just your way of getting acquainted with what the program is about. And you can also throw back the question to us if you feel any of the panelists or our panelists and our keynote speaker would be able to, I would be open to answer your question as well. And my second question would be, what existing policies or opportunities can young Nigerians leverage on to participate in governance today? So what existing policies have you noticed as an individual, as a student, as a business person, whatever field you found yourself in? What existing policies in your environment, in your society, have you seen that you feel, you know what, I can leverage on this to participate in governance or be a part of public life today? So I'll go back to my first question again. How can a young person with no political background begin a journey toward governance and public leadership? If you have answers, you can indicate by using the wave reaction or emoji, and we'll call you up to speak immediately. Okay, I can see some hands up. Favor. You can go ahead, please.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Wobi Favor. So I want to answer the question. So in my own perspective, a young person with no political background can absolutely go into public life because you can just start with small service. Like you can just notice a problem around you and work on it. It can be in your school, maybe by organizing tutorials or something like that. Something like that. Also, you can also build your knowledge in like all these governance, leadership, also volunteering for NGOs. From there, you don't know if you can come across opportunities. If they see your willingness to learn, they will just connect you to all these people that are in all this public work, and from there like this you will make it. And also you need to develop, like if you have good communication skills like public speaking, writing, definitely there are opportunities all over the internet. So, and also you can also be showing us what you are doing, have a digital footprint. Like if you are organizing something or you're helping someone, you can be posting it online, and who knows what might happen after that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Favor. I can see Daniel. Daniel, you could go ahead and answer the question. Daniel, I can see your hands up. The floor is yours. You could go ahead and answer the question. Okay. I can see Ubajekwe Michael Chidubem, please, you could go ahead and answer the question.
Okay, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Michael. The way I'm trying to answer the first question, I'm answering the first question. For me, or to me rather, because I'm actually studying political science in Babcock University. So I believe that, or what I've been able to understand over the course of my study is that everybody, irrespective of who you are, what you are, the position you acquire, in one way or the other, you engage in politics. It's not, let us say you are entering like the Nigerian political sphere, no, but making decisions that affect your everyday life, it's politics. Do you understand? So someone that has little or no knowledge does not even know that he's actually even engaging in the political affairs of his community just by being a human being, because you cannot live in isolation. You have to relate with each other. So I believe that these people can be able to engage in governance. They can be able to influence political decisions if they show interest. And how do you show interest? Just by being involved. By being involved. For example, in my school, I just wanted to, like someone already even pointed out, I just wanted to be involved. I wanted to learn. I wanted to be part of this tutoring group. From there, someone just suggested, oh, go for students' union position, and from there, be the head of this, and so on and so forth. So it starts from the grassroots, the ability for you to relate with people, because you cannot live in isolation. You have to like relate with people to be able to bring about change, bring about development. Is just by your relation, just by your discussion, your engagement with each other in your grassroots, like in your lowest level, your class, your
Question. What's
family,
your
your
question?
community.
What's your question? You need to know how to be precise. We are training you as leaders, not just leaders. But so when you have to have you can, when you're going to speak, just give you a moment, like have what you in your mind, have like bullet points, 1, 2, 3, say it quickly
Yes.
and finish up. So you are
So,
talking too much now. I'm
so
saying
okay,
this, I'm
so
not to roll you down, we are training you. So it's
yes.
very short and precise. 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
So everybody should engage with like these individuals. Now I'm answering the first question, like I said, they should show interest. How do they show interest? By communicating with each other, communicating with other people, by engaging in the affairs of their community. From there, they make reasonable decisions that would affect not just them, but the entire community positively, of course. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Michael. I have a question from Abam, I think, Abamihe. He says, this question is directed at Dr. Peace. He says, don't you think there is need for one to stoop, bend, give to Caesar what is technically his, so you can get access for the necessary change? So please, Dr. Peace, please, this question was directed to you. The floor is yours to answer.
Okay, thank you very much for that question, Mr. Abba. Yes, yeah, it's good to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, but in a political terrain where you're trying to be the change that you want to see, is either you bend or you walk out with your shoulders high. Then tomorrow, if there is any other responsible position, they're looking for somebody with a high level of integrity who will not bend or break. Then they will call you. They'll always make reference to you. So that is the downside of bending and breaking. So again, in order to do that in a political system is especially, entrenched with so much interest. So you can negotiate instead of bending or breaking. Why don't we do it this other way? You can be tactical. You can also, you might just walk away and having your decisions, like making your decisions in a like what I did. I was very pragmatic. because I know they'll definitely come for me. So I said, look, I respect everybody here, but these are not aligned with my value. So I'd rather take a bow. And if I talk about it today, they are already this they are now in disunity. So everybody still make references to me. So it's about what you carry. When you bend, that means you're normalizing all the corruption you're doing. You're trading your core values for petty things, material things that will come and go. Like I said, when you leave, what would you be remembered for? So you need to have a mindset. You need to be distinguished from those people who would easily bend and break. So that's the idea of giving to Caesar what belongs to Caesar is a misinterpretation. And if you want to build, like Pastor Mark is helping us build, a reputable character, is building that institution from your little network to let them know that regardless of what happens, we can't be criticizing government and in our own mindset wanting to bend or break. No. You are engaging in this system, you're engaging with this network because you want to change it. And from there, you politically grow. Then you dismantle this cannibalistic nature of the political system in Nigeria. That's the only way. So, yeah, be a good person and let it begin with you. I don't know if that answers your question.
Thank you so much, Ma.
I can also add to that. That's another way you are able to, if you like, to win in this contest is having a coalition. That's one of the reasons why you need to have your own networks yourselves now, not only when you get into politics.
Mm-hmm.
Have your own networks now. That's part of what we're giving to yourselves. So if you use it carefully, then you have 10, 20, 30 people that you can call upon, as the opportunity, as everybody's climbing, you can call upon them. So that way it's easier for you to survive with your values because you also have your own network, you have your own training, you have your own this, you have people you can call upon. If not, you have to either you bow or you have to leave. So use your networks now. Create your own networks now.
Thank you so much, sir. I have Justina Raphael's hands up. Please go ahead. If you have a question, please go ahead and ask. And you have 2 minutes, please.
Okay, good afternoon. I actually wanted to answer a question, not to ask. The question that related to uh, how can people leverage on what they have currently, political sector and all. But I don't know if it has been answered, and I don't need to buttress on them.
You can go ahead and answer, please. You have 2 minutes.
Okay, so regarding that, as students or whoever we are, let me just use the example of students because I believe most persons are young here. If you are still in school, you can leverage in political sectors in your departmental representations. I know there is internal school politics. I heard a story of someone in the Oyo State government, a female who started from her school, her department, representing the school as the SU or whatever, from your department first, you transcend to the school. From there, she was picked by one of the state delegates who came visiting, and they were asking for leaders of departments because of her good representation and leadership skills. She scaled through, was invited to the state, to the state house together with her colleagues, but she stood out because of her leadership roles and the role she played and the recommendations. And aside then, she was picked And so when she graduated from there, she had to be assigned to at least a lower position in the state government. From there, she climbed up. So you can achieve that from school. But for those who are already done with school, NYC is also a good place to play. Sometimes we're usually posted to different state secretariats to work. From there, you can work together with your state coordinator as an NYC representative. From there, you can climb up. So it's just about you maximizing the little opportunities that you have, just like Dr. Peace have mentioned, maximizing it, working so well, so much so that when your tenure or your service or your school days are over, you're going to be recommended. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Justina. Since we've not gotten any more questions from
Sorry,
the
sorry,
floor. Okay,
sorry. One
go
thing
ahead.
I'll add to what everyone has said is look for books and read. Look for political leaders that have made a lot of impact, either in their religious circle or political circle. Read their books. Read it to understand. Like, was it who was in the Bible that said they understood by reading the books? You need to read it, then empower yourself with it, so that when you're speaking with so much knowledge and boldness, because boldness comes from the place of knowledge. That influence also comes from that. When they know that you are knowledgeable in what you're talking about or what you're proposing or the policies you're bringing to the table, or even amongst your networks, they see you as somebody they can emulate. Then from there, little by little, responsibilities will begin to come. Then you translate that into integrity. You translate it into political action. Then you translate it into that positive influence. Again, is a circle, is a loop. But first, look for books and empower yourself with it.
Thank you so much, Ma, for that. And to every other person who has asked or answered questions, we're very grateful for your input to this. Since we've not seen any other questions from in the chat room or any raised hands, I'll be handing over to our anchor, Ijoma, for the next item. Thank you.
Thank you so much, I'm blessed. Thank you to everyone that has participated in this Q&A session as well as the open discussion session. Thank you. And finally, as you're drawing the curtain on today's webinar, I hope every one of us here on this Zoom call we've gained valuable insights, action points on how to improve and also impact our various communities or various places we find ourselves in. So we're moving on to our next agenda for today, and it's going to be anchored by our legal strategist, Kelvin Edward. He'll be taking his floor now for the next session. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I hope we're all doing fine. I hope we have been enjoying this segment so far. So we're moving to the last phase of the occasion, which is the awards ceremony, the awards and prize ceremony. So we are going to be calling after careful deliberation, we're going to be calling the top two. These two people were the ones that their video contest it was outstanding and it met the criteria that we were looking for. So please pardon me if I am not pronouncing your name correctly. I would like to just go on and go ahead with it. So the first person here is Fa Benile Rashid Ifeoluwa. So I'd like us to just maybe tap our screens, just give her a round of applause. Her video was her entry rather was visually appealing. She had an impeccable speech pattern, and she was also one of the things that stood out about her presentation was it was very much youth centered, which is on brand for what we are doing because Song Africa is trying to get the youths. The whole goal of Song Africa is to get youths in anticipation for future governance and to be able to lend a voice in future politics. And that was what she talked about. So she was very youth centered and she spoke more on youth development, not just at an educational aspect, but she also talked more on and she targeted underprivileged youth. She targeted skill development and entrepreneurship training, which is what we are looking for. So it's not just necessarily about the problems itself, but how would you handle the problems? The second person on our list is Mrs. Ibibia Sina. So she understood perfectly the existing problems and how to process it in her state and community. And she also initiated a very detailed plan, that gave us a process for executing her goals and vision. And she was very, very clear with her statistics. And this is exactly what we're looking for um in Song Africa, people who are able to go in and make a voice both in their community through their works and through the activities that they do. So these are the top two entries. Every other person, we watched everybody's videos, and to be honest, it was a challenge, but at the end of the day, we had to pick the best two. Everyone did outstanding. Everyone did wonderfully well, and we're very, very grateful. It doesn't end here. There are a lot of other as Dr. Mark has stated, and during the course of our trainings, we'll also be training other people just because that's the entire essence of Song Africa itself, to train us for being future leaders. So it doesn't end here. Congratulations to the top two once again. Please do well to reach out so that we could discuss further. Thank you all very much and congratulations once again.
Thank you so much, Kelvin, for this session and for all the participants that also won in it. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone that also sent in their videos. Like Kelvin said, we actually did watch it, but in a contest, you are supposed to have winners, and that's it. It doesn't mean that the video submission that you submitted wasn't good, but we just had criteria that we're looking out for. So thank you very much for your contributions. Thank you for everything. I'll be the one giving in and closing in for today's webinar and session, which is the vote of thanks and the closing prayer. So I want to thank everyone for joining today's webinar. Special appreciation goes to Dr. Mark, our chairman at Song Africa here, to our panelists, Dr. Peace. Thank you so much for taking our time at such short notice to come and also speak to us and give us your insights on ways to improve ourselves and, be good. To our moderators from Newborn to I'm Blessed to Kelvin, to every members of Song Africa and Aberdeen commercial team. Special thanks to Miss Florence. I saw on the call Mr. Ugo and Choma as well. Thank you very much for joining us and for taking our time. To all contestants and our participants, thank you very much. I hope you learned one or two things. I hope you gained valuable insights on, youth and governance. And I hope you also followed us on our social media. The links are in the chat, by the way. So thank you and God bless you. Thank you very much. That's it for today. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.